So what's going on? What's really wrong? Sorry, that's another one. Let me go back to this eclipse here. So what's really wrong was, we know that, let me just document that, okay? So if the radius is negative, there should be an alternative action to report an error. Okay, that's kind of what we know from the previous program. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a new class with basically the same program. I'm going to show you how we can make the program better by using the new syntax. And I'm going to talk about this exclusively on Thursday. Okay, but today let's just learn some examples and get some feel, and see how you can use debugger to debug the if statements. Okay, let's do this now. Can we just go back to Package Explorer here, and let's create a new class there. Right click, new class, compute area of circle 2, like that. Okay, and then put a main method there. Okay, and then say finish. That's version 2. However, we can reuse version 1 quite a bit. How about this? Can we just go back to, oh, you know what? We should call it good. So this good point to show you. Let's say somehow after you name a class in Java, you regret. You want to rename that to something else. How would you do it? Do not simply just change this to good, for example. Do not do it. The reason is, in Java, the file name and the class name must match. So now I'm only changing the class name. I didn't change the file name. I want to do that all together. Okay, there's a better way to do it. Okay, I'll show you. Can you just undo, like circle 2 here, right? So now the easiest way to do it is this. You can just put your mouse over this class name here and right click. And you can see there's something called refactor. Refactor simply means you want to somehow change your class in a way, right? Go to refactor and go to rename. Okay, let Eclipse does the job for you. Rename, and then you can see somehow you can rename this class over here, right? Rename that to whatever you like. So for example, I want to replace 2 here by good. Once you do that, it is going to ask you to confirm, say continue, and now it also renamed the class name for you, renamed the file name for you at the same time. So that's pretty convenient. Make sure it's safe afterwards. So if you want to rename the class file, the class name in Java, please use Eclipse to do so. Don't do it manually. Right? That can save you trouble. Okay, let's go back to the bad version. Can we just copy everything from the scanner here to the last line here? Can we copy that so we can save some typing? Okay, copy that. Let's say edit, copy. Go to the good version here. Can we replace that? Say edit and paste. Like that. Okay, so now it still compiles. But it's a good version in the sense that we're going to distinguish between good input and bad input. For good input, we can calculate the area. For bad input, we're going to report some error to say, no, it's negative, I cannot calculate, right? How do we do that? Let me do some intermediate version for you. How about that? So now, as soon as after this, okay, can I just put something here? System.out.println. So somehow I want to say I can calculate the area of the circle if it is not negative. Okay. So now remember we talked about comparison when we in our lecture, right? So now this radius here is a double value. I want to see whether it's going to be negative or not. Less than 0. If I simply put it here. Okay, I'm going to use a debugger to show you, right? So let's say in line number 16, it is going to find out as soon as we read the input from the user, it can be 3.0, it can be minus 3.0. we're gonna check to see what's gonna be the value of this comparison here. If it is minus 3.0, and then minus 3.0 less than 0 will be true. If that's 3.0, then 3.0 less than 0 will be false. Depending on that's true or false, we can do actions differently. Okay, that's kind of the idea. So I'm trying to move a little bit step further before I introduce you to the syntax. Okay, let's try this. Okay, without a debugger, let's try this here. So now you can see that it will be true if the value is negative. It will be false if the value is not negative, right? Let's try this. Run the program here. If I say minus 3.0, it's going to say true here, right? Somehow. That's kind of the printout. Okay, I'm going to show you in the debugger as well. So this is true. If I try again, if I say 3.0, it says false, which means 3.0 is not negative, right? So we got true and we got false. So we have a way to distinguish between the two cases. Okay, that's one step forward. So now, how do we kind of make use of this? Okay, now let me introduce you to the syntax. So somehow here, we call this radius less than 0 is called a Boolean expression. Just say Boolean, so I'll explain what Boolean is on Thursday. So for now, just learn by example. A Boolean expression is basically anything that's going to give you either true or false. That's a simple definition. Especially the typical example would be you're trying to do comparison. If you want to say some number is less than or equal to another one, that will give you either true or false. If you want to say if a number is equal to another number, that will also give you true or false, right? That's a typical Boolean expression. I'll explain that in more details on Thursday. So now, let's see. So radius less than 0 is a Boolean expression, which might give you either true or false. In this case, if it is true, that means the number is negative, which is not good. We're gonna output some error message to the console. If it is false, that means it is not negative. So we can calculate the area. Okay? So how do we do that? Let me show you. So now there's a new syntax. So you can also refer to the handout I gave to you. So that's sort of the complete syntax. Let's try to learn by example. If is a keyword in Java. Okay, if left, put a pair of parentheses here, and here within the parentheses can be any Boolean expression, anything that's going to return true or false. And we can put radius less than 0 over there. You can put radius less than 0. Okay? So far we learned about if keyword. After the if, there's going to be a pair of round parentheses. Within the parentheses, we put some Boolean expression there, which can be true or false. Okay? After this, we're going to get, first of all, a left curly brackets and hit enter. So we call this part here a branch. So this will be the branch that is going to be executed if this condition here is true. If the condition is not true, then this branch will not be executed. Okay, I'm going to show you. Okay, and if, and also something called else. It's in the more English sense. It's like if or otherwise. If this is true, do this. Otherwise, do something else. Okay. So I can put some comment here. If we go to this branch, that means radius less than 0 is false. Less than 0 is false. Okay, just a comments for you. So now we actually basically have some outline here. The structure is, we say that we're going to check if radius is less than 0. If it is, do something. If it is not, do something else. Not both. Either one, not both. In the case where radius is less than 0, what should we do? Let's print some error here. You can say system.out.println. You can say error negative radius plus radius. Okay, so that's the only thing we will do. We simply are not going to waste our resources to calculate the area if the radius is negative. Otherwise, we can calculate as before. Okay, so now I want you to do the following. Anything can go under this branch over here. So can we just cut and paste these 3 lines? So select these 3 lines here. So where we calculate the area and print out the output, right? So can we just go to edit and cut? It's gone temporarily. Go inside the branch of the else. Go to edit and paste. Put it there. Which means we do what we did before only if the radius is larger than or equal to 0. If it is less than 0, we put the error. So it's selective, right? Let's try. Let's try, first of all, without the breakpoint, and then we'll try with the breakpoint. So now let's try this. Run the program. If I say 3.0, it would say, okay, by the way, the false here simply means radius less than 0 is false, right? Don't get confused. And then we got circle with this. Okay, that's good. How about another one? Minus 3.0. True. However, it's going to say error, negative radius minus 3.0. Okay, much better version. It wouldn't give you the false answer about minus 3.0 circle can also have a area, right? Okay, let's try to use the debugger. But I would suggest let's comment out this line. Okay, we no longer need that. Okay, that can be confusing. Okay, so now how about we do this? Let's try to put the breakpoint here. So this is right before we check the radius, the value of the radius, right? So which means we are still going to read the input from the keyboard, and we're going to stop here before we check. And I'll show you what kind of expressions you can put there. Okay? Of course, you can rewatch the video later. You know, maybe I'm going a little bit too fast, but you know, it's recorded with voice, so you can see that later. So now let's debug. Click on the debug button here. First of all, let's enter, let's say 3.0. Okay? If you do that, so now we are at a point right before we check radius is less than 0, right? So first of all, check under the variables panel here. You can see the radius is 3.0. So now I would like you to try something here. Can we just go to expressions here? Because somehow I want to predict whether it will go to the if branch or the else branch. Depending on if radius less than 0 is true or false. If radius less than 0 is true, then I'm going to go into this branch. If it is false, I'm going to go to the else branch, right? Let's try. If you go to expressions here, you can remove the previous two, right? From the previous example, you can remove them all. Can I just add a new expression here? Radius less than 0. Did I type it wrong? So radius 3.0, okay, that's first of all. Radius less than 0 during evaluation. If I say that, what about that? I'm not sure why you would show this. In your computer, does it say errors as well? When you type an expression, does it say errors? That's kind of interesting to me. Okay, give me a moment. If I say radius times 2, for example, 6.0. You know what? I'm not sure why this wouldn't work for now, but hopefully that wouldn't. Okay. Okay, let's not let this distract us. So somehow we want to check to see, you can see now we got the expression here is 3.0 for radius, right? So now 3.0 less than 0 should give us false. So that means we should not enter this if branch, we'll go to the else branch. So now I want you to watch this very carefully, okay? So now let's see this. Now we're here. I'm going to say step over. Now let's predict how this arrow here is going to move. Is it going to move to here? Or is it going to move to here? Else branch, right? Because we know radius, which is 3.0, less than 0 is actually false. Let's try that. Step over, indeed, we go to the else branch. The if branch was not touched. Okay, and then it's going to do the normal calculation and print out the output like that. Okay, let's try another one. Let's do debug again. So now let's debug. Let's enter minus 3.0. So now again we're here. So now if you go to expressions here, you can see that radius is now minus 3.0. Now minus 3.0 less than 0 will be true, which means now if I say step over, rather than going to the else branch, I'm going to the if branch. So if I say step over, you go to here, right? It's a different branch that we go to because the value is different. Used to be invalid, but now it's valid. Okay, so that's why you would say error, negative radius. Okay, any questions up to now? Yes?
When I try to debug,
yeah.
Green highlight is not where I want it to be.
Maybe I'll handle that. Maybe I'll handle that offline. Okay. Yeah. So I think that today the most important thing is I want you to learn about debug and breakpoints. Also to introduce you about if statements a little bit. Okay, that's the most important thing to follow. And then we'll get to if and else seems to be simple, but it can get very tricky. That's why we need a whole lecture, or maybe 2 lectures, even 3 for that. Okay? But we'll get there. Okay, so I think I will continue with this. Okay, let's see how much time we have. We have about 15 minutes, right? Something like that. Okay, I would like to show you another version of compute area of circle. Okay, can we just go back to Java perspective here? So now I want you to create another version. So this is good. How about we say good number 1? Can we rename this again? So click on this class here, right click, go to refactor, and rename. Let's say good 1. And confirm. I want to have another version, good 2. Okay, I will show you how you can play with the Boolean expression a little bit. Okay, we'll do more kind of such tricky things in the class on Thursday. Let's go to Package Explorer here. Can we just create another class here? New class, and then we'll say compute area of circle 2, good 2, good 2. Oh, and then the main method here. Okay, and say finish. Okay, can we just go back to the good number 1 over here? Can we copy everything between the main method from scanner until the if and else? Copy everything here, edit, copy, go back to good 2, and paste over here. Okay, it will compile for sure. So now I want to write a program slightly differently. Okay, this is what I want to do. You can see that in line number 18, I'm trying to say if radius is negative, which means the value is not valid, then I'll do this. Otherwise, I do something else. I'm going to write it in a different way. I'm going to say if radius is larger than or equal to 0, I'm going to calculate. Otherwise, I'll report error. I'm going to do it the opposite way. But logically speaking, they are equivalents. Okay, let me show you exactly what I mean. So now, can I just do, I'm going to change the symbol here, and I want you to think about what I should change elsewhere. I want to flip the sign over here from less than into larger than equal to 0. That's all I want to do for now. And you can change this as well. Now I want to say, let's put another comment here. Radius larger than or equal to 0 means radius is valid. Before, in the previous good 1 version, radius less than 0 means it's not valid, right? Okay, that's the only thing I changed from less than into larger than or equal to. Now, think about how I should change the program accordingly to make sure it behaves the same as before. Think about if I didn't change anything, I just leave it like that. What's going to happen? Opposite, right? If I say 3.0, it's going to say, wow, error, negative radius. Right? Let's double check with that. If I didn't change anything. Also study the second one very carefully. Interesting. I say that 3.0 error. That's funny. And then if I say minus 3.0, then it says okay. All right? So now, any suggestion how I'm supposed to change? What do you mean copy and paste? You want to swap what's between the two branches, right? So basically, I want to swap. I want to somehow move this guy here into the else part. I want to move the else part back to the if part. I want to swap them. Because now the condition itself I'm checking is a little bit different. I used to check if the radius is valid or not, right? Used to be checking if that's not valid, but I'm checking if that's valid, right? It's kind of checking the opposite. Okay, let's do this. Can we just, first of all, can you select these three lines here? Edit, cut. Hit a new line here. Edit, paste. Okay. And now, can we just do this line here where we do the error? Select that, edit, cut. Put it in the else part, paste. And we do a swap, right? And now, if there's somehow your program goes a little bit not so pretty, let's do Control A, select all the code, Control I, you'll be back into the place. Let's try again. If you run it, so if I say 3.0, that's okay, right? If I say minus 3.0, yeah, reports the error correctly. So I want you to study these. First of all, start with the bad version to know why we need selective actions, and then go to the good one and good two to see just by changing the way we compare the radius value, either that's less than 0 or greater than or equal to 0. You can change the way we do things, the order. Think about these two by using breakpoints and debugger. Any questions? No? Okay, I'll pause for maybe about 3 to 4 minutes and then to see if you got any questions. And I'll do a final example for today. And then we're done. Okay? I'll pause for 3 minutes. Feel free to ask questions if you like.